I talk about adoption, I would like for you to put yourself in other people's shoes that may not be able to have children and may have a rocky past or may just be different from what adoption agencies want in a parent. And just put yourself in their shoes to help yourself better understand why these misconceptions may deter others from going through an adoption process. I know one family that just recently adopted a little girl from China. They're a heterosexual white couple. They're very well off financially. The wife has her own cooking show, and they're currently in Paris, probably eating dinner as we speak. And it was very easy for them to adopt their child. They didn't have any worries about the travel expenses, and the adoption agency wasn't pushing against them to get a baby because of their circumstances. So through this talk, I'm going to discuss the 3 common misconceptions regarding the adoption process, such as a criminal record, a lack of money, and the sexual orientation of parents or their own family dynamic. The first opposition is that if you have a criminal record, you will not be allowed to adopt whatsoever. Luckily, there are only certain crimes that are a firm no for a good reason, such as child abuse, sexual assault, homicide, or if you've been charged with a felony within the last 5 years. And a lot of these rules change depending on the state that you're residing in and the state that you're wishing to adopt from, if you're adopting within the United States. A lot of people may be discouraged if they've had any petty crimes in the past, such as possession of drugs like marijuana, or theft, destruction of property like graffiti. But a lot of these people, that was in their past. It might have been 10, 20 years ago. A lot of these people have turned over a new leaf and could be very good parents because they've learned from their experiences and would be able to know the tricks and advise their adopted child otherwise. And a lot of the rules and regulations regarding the crimes that adoption agencies are a little more lenient on are available at childwelfare.gov. They have them listed out state by state. And the second opposition is that if you have enough money to be able to afford an adoption, then you'll have enough money to be able to provide a child a good life. While having a lot of money may provide more open doors for a child, it is not necessary to give a kid a safe and loving home, which is the main goal for adoption. Because if they don't get adopted, they'll be raised in the foster care system, which is the worst alternative out of everything. As stated by Mary and Bradley Hanson in their article, The Economics of Adoption of Children from Foster Care, they state that when the price of adoption services for waiting children is high, prospective adoptive parents are more likely to choose one of the alternatives to adoption from foster care, such as traditional conception and childbirth, infertility treatment, or surrogacy, foster parenting, or a private or international adoption agency. Now, we want to lower the price of adoptions so that more kids can be adopted, because we don't want people to be discouraged from the price of the adoption when they're looking into adopting a child. The third opposition is that the sexual orientation of gay or lesbian parents could lead to bullying and mental illnesses within their child. There are studies that show that children raised by LGBTQ plus families show typical development. Rachel Farr, Stephen Forsell, and Charlotte Patterson state in their article, Parenting and Child Development in Adoptive Families, they state that parenting stress, parenting approaches and couple relationship adjustment were found to be significantly associated with children's adjustment regardless of the parental sexual orientation. So the adoption process should be more focused on those factors like the parent's mental health and their parenting skills versus their sexual orientation. In conclusion, I hope to bring light to the misconceptions of adoption and to inform you to be able to inform others that may be wishing to adopt, and hopefully we can encourage others to give children more homes.